So I got a comment a while ago that said, it's time for 2010's recommendations. I obviously already did one as a special, but I thought to myself, sure, why not do another one? So that's exactly what I'm doing. Yo, what's up guys? I'm the Anime Top Scholar, and today we're going to be taking a look at 3 more modern anime that I think people should check out if they haven't. Now this is not going to be a series, it's just another one-off video, but I thought it could be fun. The rules from the retro anime recommendations don't really apply to these videos, as I'm pretty much just gonna recommend 3 shows that I think a lot of people might have skipped out on. Anyways, without any further ado, let's just get into it. Up first we have an original anime from 2013 called Gatchaman Crowds. This anime consists of 2 seasons, both containing 12 episodes. There is also a special director's cut version of the 12th and final episode of season 1, which should be watched, as it makes the final episode of season 1 a lot easier to understand. All of Gatchaman Crowds was produced by Studio Tatsunoko Production and directed by Kenji Nakamura, who has also directed series like Mononoke and Tsuritama. The synopsis for Gatchaman Crowds goes something like this. Hajime Ichinose's ordinary life is in for a change when a transcendent being named J.J. Robinson hands her a small book called Note, a device which transforms her into one of the Gatchaman, the legendary protectors of Tachikawa City. Stressing that the existence of their group must remain a secret, fellow Gatchaman Sugane Tachibana takes Hajime to their base of operations, where Paiman, a panda-like alien leader of the Gatchaman, reveals their purpose: to eliminate aliens that pose a danger to humanity. These existential threats, called mess, are becoming increasingly dangerous, destroying everything they touch. Now it's up to the Gatchaman and their new recruit to stop them before the world is engulfed in chaos. The name Gatchaman Crowds might sound familiar to you. The reason for that is because this is a modern anime based on the 1972 series Science Ninja Team Gatchaman. But Gatchaman Crowds is not just a remake, but a reimagining of the Gatchaman of old. Instead of a bunch of bird-motifed science ninjas, we got a very different kind of superhero story. A story that is fantastical, colorful, as well as idealistic. What I like about this show is that it is very easy for newcomers to Gatchaman to just jump in here, but it's not like they just ignore previous iterations of Gatchaman. That connection being maintained by the villain Berg Katze, who has been a part of the series since the beginning. Though in Gatchaman Crowds, he takes on a bit of a different role. The story of Crowds touches on social issues and the idea of an idealized society in which peace can be easily maintained through the social media phenomenon known as Galax, in which everyone now has the power to become a superhero. And then the second season serves as a critique of these ideas and shows how humanity works at its lowest and how these powers can be abused. The whole show is quite unique and interesting to watch, and I recommend giving it a shot. It's just a shame that the last episode of season 1 is kind of a botched episode, as it is more a collection of moments that become very hard to put together as you watch it. It's a shame, but there is a director's cut version of the final episode, which is a lot better, and actually tries to flesh out what happened at the end. I think what people are gonna have the hardest time with are the characters and the idyllic story. The characters can both be seen as fun and annoying, very quirky and set in their ways. It takes some time getting used to them, and even then you might not enjoy them very much. Basically, in short, I can't be certain that you'll enjoy Gatchaman Crowds, but due to the unique presentation of its ideas, flawed as they may be, I still think it's worth a watch. Gatchaman Crowds is available to stream on both Crunchyroll and HIDIVE. Up next we have a show that I absolutely love. That is the series called Uchouten Kasoku, or the Eccentric Family in English. This slice of life series consists of 2 seasons, the first being 13 episodes long, and the second 12 episodes. Both seasons were produced by Studio PA Works, and they were directed by Masayuki Yoshihara. The series is an adaptation of the 4-volume manga by the same name that was written by Tomihiko Morimi, while the art was done by Yu Okada. This manga was published in Comic Birds from 2013 to 2015. The synopsis goes something like this. Kyoto has been populated by groups of tanuki and tengu for years, living alongside humans who are oblivious to the existence of these creatures. Yasaburo Shimogamo is the 3rd son of an influential tanuki family who spends his carefree days taking care of an old tengu, observing humans through his ability to shapeshift and dealing with a mysterious woman named Benten. Behind the peace and tranquility, however, is a painful memory from long ago, as Yasaburo's father, head of the Tanuki community, was killed and eaten by a group of humans known as the Friday Fellows. The Eccentric Family follows the trials and tribulations of the Shimogamo brothers as they struggle to avoid their own grisly demise, while coming ever closer to unraveling the truth behind their father's death. When I watch a slice of life anime, one of the things that is the most important to me is charm. And boy does the Eccentric Family have a lot of charm. This is a fantastical slice of life series set in Kyoto, with characters that are really creatures from Japanese mythology, like Tengus and Onis. But most important to this story are the Shimogamo family, a family of Tanuki who can transform into humans, with Yasaburo being the most prominent character from this family, as well as Benten, a human who was kidnapped by the Tengu Akadama-sensei as a teenager, who has grown up learning the ways of the Tengu, as well as how to fly. What gives this show so much charm is not just its art and animation, which is pretty good by the way, though the art might take a bit of getting used to, due to its minimal use of details and use of very simple shapes like circles and squares. No, what gives this show its charm are the personalities of the characters. You see, Yasaburo is a carefree and mischievous Tanuki, who is really fascinated with humans and often transforms to go out and mess with people. He's particularly got an eye on Benten, who's a bit of a morally grey character. She is neither portrayed as good nor evil. She is now just a bit more Tengu than human, and despite seemingly having everything one could want, she still feels quite sad. She lets Yasaburo get close to her, but not too close, as she keeps him away with remarks like how it's sad that she will eventually have to eat him, since he's a Tanuki and she is human. These are only some of the reasons why this show is amazing, and I highly recommend you to watch it. The Eccentric Family is available to stream on Crunchyroll. Last but not least, we have the anime Giant Killing. This 26-episode sports drama from 2010 was produced by Studio Dean and directed by Yu Ko, who has also directed Chrono Crusade. Giant Killing is based on a manga of the same name written by Masaya Tsunamoto, with Tsujimoto doing the art. The manga is still ongoing and is publishing in weekly morning. The synopsis goes something like this. East Tokyo United, or ETU, has been struggling in Japan's top football league for the past few years. It has taken everything they have just to avoid relegation. To make matters even worse, the team has lost 5 matches in a row, leading to abysmal team morale. Even the fans are beginning to abandon them, and rumors hint that the home-ground municipality is going to withdraw their support. With countless coaches fired and poor financial choices in hiring players, it is a downward spiral for ETU. The board of directors, under pressure from general manager Kosei Goto, takes a gamble and hires a new coach, the slightly eccentric Takeshi Tatsumi. Though considered a great football player when he was younger, Tatsumi abandoned ETU years ago. However, since then, he has proven himself successful as the manager of one of England's lower division amateur teams. Tatsumi's task won't be easy. ETU fans call him a traitor, and the team is pitted against others with larger budgets and better players. Yet even an underdog can take down a Goliath, and Tatsumi claims he's an expert at giant killing. Sports anime. I absolutely love them, and Giant Killing is one of those lesser known sports anime, at least outside of Japan, that I wish more people would give a shot. Just like most sports anime, this is also an underdog story, but a pretty darn good one in my opinion. You see, the first big difference between Giant Killing and most other sports anime is that this is not a story about your local high school team. No, this is actually set in Japan's Pro League. Watching ETU's new coach Takeshi Takumi, who's had success taking an amateur team at the bottom of the English football pyramid to a 32nd finish in the FA Cup and beating some big teams on the way, try to make these players who are used to fighting to avoid relegation believe that they can actually go out there and beat other teams who are technically way better than them is a lot of fun. The show deals with things like injury and effort versus skill in a way that feels both very familiar but also quite refreshing. If you're into football or sports anime, then I highly recommend you to watch Giant Killing. Some less than amazing CG aside, this story is really good. Just a shame that it doesn't have a proper ending, because I would love to see this continue. And even though the manga is still ongoing, I doubt that we're getting a sequel after 10 years. But who knows? giant killing is sadly not available to stream legally anywhere, so you'll either have to find someone that's selling it, or watch it some other way. So those were all the modern anime I wanted to recommend to you. Hopefully between Gatchaman Crowds, the Eccentric Family, and giant killing, you found something that sounds interesting to you. But if you didn't, or you want more recommendations, you can also check out the other modern anime recommendations video I made. You can also go check out my playlist for retro anime recommendations, if you want to see if there are some good older shows you might have missed out on. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, then don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more anime related content from the Anime Top Scholar. Peace!